Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cloudy from Cloudy's Creations Part 2, and today is another one of my series number 4, Crafting Our Way to Christmas. And today I'm going to be collaborating with Jetta from Craft Away with Jay. And today we're going to be collaborating, like I said, the Crafting Our Way to Christmas. And we're doing our own little Christmas thing. Okay. And I chose to build a snowman, a special snowman, a snowman that is very special and close and dear to me. Um, I've been inspired by him for many, many years, and he is my favorite snowman in the world. Okay, so let's get on with the project and see what I create. Okay, so here I'm going to be showing you these balls. One is a 5-inch and the other one is a 4-inch. And I got them from a mom and pop store that we have that is like a dollar store, and they have different foam balls. And I go there shopping a lot and get foam balls from them because they have like uh, huge, up to like 24-inch round circles. Um, but here I got a 4 and a 5. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the skewer sticks and I'm connecting them together. I'm also going to put some Type on Quick and Thick, okay, in between that to hold that together, okay? And I'm going to put it on the dowel and also on the snowball, well, the foam ball, I'm sorry. Then after this, we're going to do the legs. I think the legs, yeah. And we're cutting the sticks at 3 inches. And those are just skewer sticks, okay? And I'm cutting 2 of them. And I'm evening them out to make sure that they're both the exact same height, okay? And then I'm going to take and push them in there to start the opening of the hole, okay? And then I think I pull them out and I put hot glue on the tips of the skewer sticks and then push them in through again. Oh, I guess I didn't show you that part. Here are the arms. I'm going to do them with wire. Okay. And this is some crafting wire that I bought on Amazon. There, it's really cheap and it's really good because look at, you see how flexible it is, and you could bend it real easy with your fingers. You don't need a pliers or anything. It's a crafting wire. All you do is type in crafting wire and it should come up. And then I bent the one that way because I want his arms to face that way. And then the other one, I bent it to face upwards and I put that there. Now I'm taking, oh, see, now I do show it. I'm going to take out a little bit of this Type on, and with a paintbrush, I'm going to be painting everything. Oh no, I roll it in. Okay, I roll it into the the glue and I stick it in. I did this a couple days ago, so sorry if I'm a little bit off with remembering because I'm doing like 1,000 crafts every day. I'm crafting and I'm crafting 2 and 3 crafts a day. Um, sometimes like on my days off, and then the days that I work, I do one. So yeah, I'm like really busy. Here I take some smaller foam balls, and those are going to be the elbows, okay? And these are going to be the knees, okay? So I push it halfway up, Okay. And you notice how the one leg is a little bit out because it's like he's going to be kicking a little bit outwards, and the feet are going to be formed different. Now this is from Dollar Tree. It's for charms, and what I was showing you is that I clipped a little stick that's in the middle for ornaments. I clipped it, but still it marks it a little bit, and I take the foam clay and rub it in there really hard, and then I smooth that little piece out. And I'm sorry about my hair getting in the way there. It was throwing for real. The struggle is real. And there I take the other one, and we're making the eyeballs. These are going to be the base of the eyeball. Later on you'll see that I'll add some more foam clay to it, but I'll tell you one later how I do that. There I'm just keeping the form, smoothing it out, and getting all that off, anything that's not supposed to be off. There I clean off my desk a little bit. And here I'm getting a large amount of the molding foam clay because we're gonna do the like the body parts. Here I'm taking and roll the snake out, and I'm filling in between the neck area. Okay, so it blends all together. Okay, and all I do is just tap the edges on the bottom, and I tap the top. Now you're gonna see gaps in there, but I'm not worried about that because we're gonna be doing. There's gonna be different steps where you're not gonna see none of that. Okay, it's all gonna blend in together. This is just the base, like a frame of. We're working on the frame part of the body. Okay, it's like we're doing the muscle part of the body. Let's put it that way. Okay, because the bows is the foam balls, the wire, the skewer sticks. And now this foam clay is going to be like the muscles, okay? And there I am connecting it to the elbow and smoothing that out. See, so I do the one arm, then I do the other. Oh, I put a little bit of glue on it to connect it. You see how I'm connecting the neck and the shoulder and the arm, okay? So you don't see that division in between there, okay? So I'm starting to build the body with the foam clay. And the reason why I use foam clay is because I want it to be one, lightweight, two, it's easier. You get less cracking with foam clay than you do with regular clay. Okay, and it's flexible. It's bouncy. It's I don't know. I just love working with foam clay. It's so much easier. And then here I'm taking and doing the arm. Okay, which connects to the hand, and there I put a little bit of the type on again. Whenever you see that little white bottle, that's type on, okay? Just so you know, because that's what I keep my type on in, because that big bottle gets in the way and it's gaudy, and I just put it in a small bottle. It's easier for me to handle and work with really quickly. And there I just go keep molding it until I have it the way that I want it exactly and how I want it to be molded. Then I put that container there just to keep it in place, okay? So it's not rolling all around my table because it kept rolling around my table. And there I'm doing the other side. And see, the type on is still a little bit wet. And I'm sorry about my head getting in the way there. But it's kind of hard not to get in the way of the camera when you're doing stuff like this, because this is something detailed, and I gotta look at it really close sometimes, and my head will get in the way. Um, Not too bad that you won't be able to see what I'm doing, but my head will get in the way. So excuse the mess of my hair. I just pulled it back, and there's like, for me, stressing and stuff, my hair is like all over the place. Okay. So there, I'm taking the foam clay and I'm doing that, connecting it to the elbow. You see that? And it's connecting from the neck to the elbow. And then I'm going to do the forearm now. And I wrap everything with Type Balm. And then I connect it. And this gave me a little bit of a problem. It kept sticking to my fingers. You'll see that every once in a while. You'll see me pull back and clean and wipe my hands, because the foam clay sticks to everything, okay? But metal, sometimes it just like slides off, and that's why I put the Type on. And it gets on my fingers, and then it sticks to my fingers, okay? So that's the next day. All right, and I let that dry really good before I kept on, because I didn't want to be moving it around and denting it and then having to keep fixing it. So here I'm taking the smaller balls, okay, and a piece of the wire, and I'm gonna bend it to make a foot, and I'm gonna stick it into the inside of that small ball like that to form the foot. Okay, so here we're doing like what you would call the bone structure. Okay, and I bend it and twist it, and I put it the direction that I want it to go. Okay, and there goes a Type on again. And I put Type on the wire and put it in. Okay, and you see one foot is going to be facing forward, and the other one is going to be facing a little bit to the side. Okay. And then here I take the foam clay, and I'm going to do like I did with the arms. I am going to connect it around the body and to the knee. See? And then I'm taking it and wrapping it from the knee to the foot. Now this one's a little bit easier because it's not so much bent. It's more like a little bit more forward. Okay. And I cover even the foam ball with the clay. Okay. Then I make a little, see, there you go. I covered the ball, and you seen it sticking to my fingers because I had glue on my fingers. Okay. And there I'm taking it, and all I'm doing is just smoothing it out and adding little pieces here and there wherever there's a little gap. I'll take the foam clay and add it. And what's nice is that when you're working with foam clay, when foam clay touches foam clay, it attaches. You don't have to add glue to it, okay? So it's easy to do moldings like this, okay? So there I am, just smoothing it out in the back and in the front as much as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, because remember I said this is like we're building like the muscles. The body part, you'll see it later. Then I take a ball and I press on down onto the metal, okay? And so it goes through the metal. And then I go adding pieces of clay around it, flattening some pieces and smoothing it around to form the foot. And it looks like it's hard and a lot of work, but it's really not. And it's so entertaining. Um, when you work with clay, it's like so therapeutic, and there's so much that you can do because you can make things your own. Like This is so you know that this is I'm reconstructing Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman is my favorite snowman, and I mean, he don't come out perfect, but he's really darn really close to looking exactly like Frosty. Not completely, but really good replica of Frosty. Okay. And there I take and I keep adding some clay, as you see. And I leave all this in so you could see how it's molded. Um, if I was doing a collaboration with several um, collaborators, I wouldn't do that. And that's why I wanted to make sure to do this so you could see how molding with clay and the steps that it takes to make things smooth. You see how I'm smoothing it out? And it's not completely smooth because even a snowman that you make out in the snow is not going to be completely smooth because if not, then you'll be there for hours and hours on end trying to smooth things out. But this is pretty close to being, perfect. Not perfect, but pretty close to it. Not, I mean, I'm not a perfectionist, but I like my work to look good. Okay, so here I'm doing the other leg now. Another reason why I'm showing you this one is I'm showing you how I connect both legs and the body to make it all like one piece, so it's nice and cohesive, and don't see breaks, okay? And I blend everything in, and there I'm doing the same thing I did the other side. But you see how I'm trying to join the two legs together at the body. And there I do the foot again. This one gives me a little bit of a problem because you can see it you keep seeing the metal to it because I have to press down on the table to flatten it out. You see how you can see the metal? So I put some more clay on the bottom there so you don't see the metal because since he's like kicking upwards a little bit, you might see the wire and I don't want you to be able to see the wire. Okay? And there I'm just smoothing everything out. And there I'm doing the connection of the body and the leg, and then I'm going to connect it together with the other leg on the bottom and smooth that out. See how I connect it and make it one piece. Yeah, it looks so cute. This turns out so adorable. Like I am so in love with it. I said I'm gonna keep it up all year round. It's gonna stay in my room. Um, right now it's gonna be part of my Christmas decor. All right, now here is the hands. I did a round circle, and then I flattened it, and then I covered over the palm. Then I made like a little fat snake, and that's the thumb. Then I make smaller ones, and I make three of those because Frosty only has 4 fingers. So I put three of them, and the pinky is the last one. Then I put type on and I attach it, smooth them together, and then I take some clay and I flatten it out around it and smooth that connection out as best as possible. Okay, and that's a hand that's going to be like him waving high. Okay, and there you see I smooth out the hands. And I take my tool and do like the cutting of the hand a little bit. Just to give it form and to give it shape. And then I'm going to move on to the other hand. Oh yeah, I messed it up. I had dented it there and I had to add a little bit of clay and fix the elbow a little bit. And the arms with the connection of to the shoulder. Okay. I'm smoothing that out. I don't remember doing that part, but yeah, I smooth it out a little bit better and make his shoulders a little bit higher. Okay, and I'm just smoothing that out. I left this in so you can see how it's molded. Other times you can't. I'm actually, it speeded up like 5 or 7, okay, times. So if you want to slow it down, you could click it and slow it down so you could watch it at a slower speed. There I bent the pinky a little bit. And I'm connecting like your ring finger and the pinky together a little bit. Okay, and then I think I'm fixing the feet again. I had a lot of problems with the wire coming out on that one. The struggle was real. So I had to reconstruct that a little bit there. And then eventually I'm going to get to the other hand right now. Okay, so I start with the base and build the shoulder so it's a little bit higher. So it's not like drooping downward. And then I'm working my way up to the hand and I put the hand together. And here I'm doing the thumb. And the thumb is sticking straight up. Now I'm going to do the fingers. They're going to be a little different. I'm doing them individually because I'm doing it because he's going to be holding his, Frosty holds a broomstick. Well, a broom in his hands, right? So I do these and I put my finger there. You saw how I put my finger behind it to curve the fingers around my finger. And then I take the dowel rod and I put it there. There, that's the next day, and they're dry. Now, here I'm going to work with the eyes. I make a little round ball, and then I flatten it over the top of it to make the eyes a little bit more rounded so they stand out, they pop out a little bit. So you could see the eyes a little bit better. I don't show you me doing both of them. Then Frosty has a different nose. Frosty doesn't have a carrot nose. He has a little red, round, like oval nose. So we're making a little oval ball, but flattening it out on the one side because that flattened part is what's going to go on his face. And then the rounded part is going to be his nose. Okay, and there I go. I flatten it out. And I smooth out any lines. And there's his nose, nice and round. It's like an oval shape, okay? And there I show you what it looks like. That is flat on the one side and rounded on the other, okay? And that's his nose. All right, I'm gonna set it to the side to dry for a little bit. And then I guess I show you me closing up my clay. I'm probably explaining what the next part was because I was thinking that this video wasn't that long and I do talk through it. All right, so I deleted that and decided to do a voiceover. So here I pulled out my spackle that I keep in that container, and I mix Mod Podge white paint from Apple Barrel, and I make it really thick, okay? And I paint his whole entire body with this. Now this is just the base of it, okay? And there it's all painted, and then I take some snow from Dollar Tree and I mix that in. That makes like a thick coat, really, really thick coat. And I don't apply it with a spatula. I apply it with my brush, okay, because I want to steeple it on and I want it to look like a snowball, like snowballs. All right. So I do that to the whole entire body. I don't show you all that. Here I'm taking black poster paper and I take my circle that is 4 inches. All right. And I take and make the top of the hat 3 inches. Okay. And then I cut it out and I cut into the inside of the line. You see how you could still see my line? Then cutting the exact amount that I'm going to need of this for the hat. So I cut off about 1.5 inches. And then I take it and I'm going to tack that on the top part. See how I fit it in? And then I'm going to tack it right there on the top part. Okay. And then I'm going to tack it on. I'm going to push it. Oh, and then I tack it on the bottom. And the whole seam. I tack the whole seam. And then I cut off. I snip little pieces about 1/8 of an inch all around. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tuck method here. Okay. And what I do is I add a little bit of glue and push down on it like that. And then I kept burning myself. So then I do it another way. And I show you here that I add the glue and then I push it down on the table. Then I take my hot glue gun, my heat gun, to make all those glue sticks disappear. Now here is where the struggle gets real. I put glue all around the edges, but the circle is not completely round. So I have little gaps and I struggle a little bit with it and I put it in the inside and it still doesn't want to line up. But what I do is I add a little bit of glue like that, attach as much as I can. Because I'll just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that up with snow later. So what I do is I take my heat gun and smooth out, all the glue globs and stuff like that so it doesn't look too bad. Then here I'm taking some black felt and I take a strip. It was cut all uneven, so I'm going to fold it over so it's nice and smooth and even on the one side. And I'm sorry I'm a little off camera. Then I fold the other side over and glue that down. And then I cut off all the excess of it. And then I take hot glue, put it in the front of the hat, bring it to the back, snip it right at the joint. And then I glue it, hot glue it, and do the same thing with the other piece and join it together. So it's not bulky. Okay. Here, Frosty doesn't have Christmas um ornaments on his hat. He has a pink flower. So I take foam and I draw a flower. I'm sorry I'm off camera. I didn't know I was off camera, but there I cut it out, and then the round circle, I ended up having to do it again, the center of the flower, and there you go. I glued it on, and then I glue it on to the hat. Okay, now here we got the snowman, okay, and we got his body. Now we're gonna take and make him all glittery because he's really chalky looking. So we take this Mod Podge that is amazing. Oh, and you seen that brush? I got that at Dollar Tree. It's a fan brush, and it costs $1.25 or $1.50. One of the two. I get that all mixed up, and it is so soft. It is awesome. I bought 3 of them, and I'm gonna go back and buy all of them. Okay, here I take that sparkle Mod Podge and I brush that on there, and you see the glitter on it. It looks so beautiful. So I do his whole body like that, and then I set him to the side to dry. Then I take that same Mod Podge with the same brush, and you'll be able to see the brush now better. It's nice. It is so soft. And here I am. You see how nice and smooth that is? Oh my goodness. I love it. I'm going to buy all of them. I'm going to go to every Dollar Tree I can find and take them all. And here I brush on the sparkle to the poster paper to give it a different look, okay? And I paint the whole thing with the sparkle Mod Podge. I don't show you the whole thing. I remember this that I do cut this out. I'm just showing you how I do this one little section right here, and that's where I then stop and then we continue. So the next thing I'm going to do is do his broom. So I get this dowel stick and this tongue depressor. It's the largest one that comes, and I cut both ends 1.5 inches, okay? And then, see, I cut them off, and then I glue them together. Now, I'm going to glue this dowel to there, and then the next one there. And that's those large shish kebab sticks that they have at Dollar Tree in the summertime. That's what that is. All right. Now here I get some raffia. I make a big old mess. Oh my God, was there a mess? And I take it and I wrap it in the U shape like that. Okay, fold it over, wrap it on, glue it on one side, and then glue it on the other. So you get that smooth, rounded part on the bottom. See, and then I flip it around and go and do the other side. I'm sorry I'm a little off camera here, and I burned myself really good right there. That's why you see me grab that one of my clay tools actually to help me with the glue, because I really, really, really burned myself, burned my finger, and I was like, we're not doing this. So I take the glue and I do it again on the other side. See, like so. All right. Now I move the raffia out of the way because I'm going to take the twine and I'm going to lay some glue down there. And I clean this up really well afterwards. I wrap it around 3 times, then snip off the end and glue that. Then I snip the top And see I clean up all that other raffia that was all around stringy, and that's his broomstick. Okay, now we're gonna, excuse me, sorry for coughing. Now I'm gonna try to adjust my camera so you can see me paint the eyes and the nose. And those are the paints that I'm using: True Red from Deco Art and Black from Nicole. These are paints that I had for a very, very long time, so I'm trying to use all my older paint. So here I paint the nose red because his nose is red. And I do 2 coats of the red, but I don't show you the 2 coats. I just show you the one. And then I'm going to show you how I do the eyeballs. I take and I do a line going downwards, and then I work around that line. I swoosh a little bit to the right and swoosh a little bit to the left. See that? Until I have it the size that I want the oval to be for his eyes. I do the same thing there. And here I am getting the round circle from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint this white. And after I paint it white and it's dry, I take Mod Podge. Okay, and you could take any Mod Podge. That one is the matte finish one. And I just paint that all up. And I do the whole thing all at once because I'm going to be using the Dollar Tree snow cloth that they have, like, to cover the tree, the bottom of the tree, and it's like really transparent. You see how transparent it is? But I'm going to add snow to this later, so it doesn't matter. And then I sit there and I just cut out some of it, and then I Mod Podge over the top, and then you're going to see me put some snow, but only around the edges. I don't do it in the center because remember, we're going to be connecting Frosty to this, and if I put snow on everything, it's going to connect to the snow and not to the actual board, okay? Or, and we'll have issues. And with this being so translucent, okay, the Mod Podge goes through and through anyways, okay? So when I go to connect my Frosty, he'll stick really nice, okay? Then you're going to see me shake it off into a lid, and then I dispose of that. And now we got Frosty here. Look at all the glitter on him. He is so cute and shiny. And I'm going to put some music on so you can watch me build him now. I'm sorry, I had to pause there for a little bit. This is a very sentimental piece for me because this takes me back to my childhood, and Frosty the Snowman's movie was very dramatic for me. Um, it was very sentimental because when he melted and I thought he died, I cried and cried and said I didn't want to continue watching the movie because my Frosty died. And my mom was like, no, continue watching because you're going to see the happy ending. There's a happy ending. And this is my happy ending right here is when Frosty comes back to life and he says, Happy birthday. And every day is a birthday for me. Um, I wake up every morning and I think, just like Frosty did when he came back, happy birthday, because it's a new day. So here, when I'm building Frosty, I take this wire that they have at Dollar Tree with little snowflakes, and to make his picture magical, I wrap it all around him like the magical snowflakes when he comes back to life, when he says happy birthday. I wanted to do that little image. And I had a little bit of complications. I didn't want to tack his hat down, but I had to tack it down so it stopped moving so I could put the wire around the top of his hat. And I'm bending the wire as I go, and then I tack this down, and you'll see it better at the final reveal. But there, see, that's when I tacked the hat down. But here's the final reveal, and I'm gonna let you listen to music while you watch the photos. And there we are. Isn't he adorable? I mean, this is such an emotional piece for me, and I'm sorry I sound sad. I'm not sad. It's just beautiful memories, and it brings tears to my eyes. But I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this collab today, and I also want to thank you for being here all the time for me. You mean the world to me. Without you guys, I wouldn't be. I also wanted to let you know that down in the description box below, it's going to be my friend's her uh, channel. Watch her. She's amazing. She is awesome. And her link to her channel and to the video is going to be down below. Also, you'll find my information, my contacts. Also, buy me a coffee if you want to donate, which you don't have to if you don't want to. Also, my Cash App is there. So I would like to hear what your favorite Christmas theme was growing up. Let me know in the descriptions. In the comments below. I would like to hear a little bit. Talk to me. I love to talk. Okay, so I want to say thank you so much for watching. You be blessed, stay blessed, and I love you guys. You mean the world to me. Bye until. Oh, and I wanted also to mention today there's another collaboration that I'm in. It's called Talented Creators. Go check that playlist out also. I'll see you there. Thank you.